Okay, so the next anti-pattern, one I've called one big test. This describes a test that's really doing far too much. So it's really testing multiple things and should be split up into a number of smaller, self-contained tests. Signs of this happening are tests that make a lot of assertions. May not be testing multiple things just because you've got a few assertions though. So other things to look for are multiple method calls on the system that you're trying to test. So you can see in this example we're calling a create user method, calling get user, calling drop user, calling a number of different methods on our user service, and making assertions in between those method calls. And that's really a sign of having this problem, is when you're kind of interleaving method calls on your system under test with assertions about what state the system is in at that point. As we saw in our calculator example earlier, you'd be far better to split this one big test method into a set of tests that each test a distinct piece of functionality. Your tests are going to be easier to maintain, it's easier to go back to those tests and see exactly what they're trying to validate. And also, if you don't work in that way, then you do find that this one big test method just gets longer and longer and longer, as people don't really know how to create these other tests, so they just pile more assertions and more behaviour into this one big test. So when that test does fail, it could be for any number of reasons. So if you do see your tests starting to grow in size, just take a careful look at what they're testing, and make sure they're only really testing one thing at a time.